please introduce yourself and make the MakerDAO project.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. I'm Rune Christensen. I'm the co-founder of Maker. MakerDAO is the world's largest and oldest DAO. Manages the DAI stablecoin, which is the world's largest decentralized stablecoin, with more than 5.2 billion stablecoins in circulation. In the last month, we've grown with more than 800 million in just a month. So it's one of the only projects in crypto that are really growing right now, while everything else is a little down. And we just want to keep growing and grow the whole space. At this point, it's actually a quite old concept. But like I said, Maker is the oldest DAO. We've been doing it for 8 years. And what it basically means is that for the last 8 years, we have essentially been a bunch of strangers connecting over the internet using blockchain tooling to actually fully control and manage and keep safe this massive decentralized financial system that underpins the DAI stablecoin. And as we do this, because it's so large scale, it's generating more than $160 million per year in income for the DAO that then benefits the DAO token holders and allows it to, allow us to grow the ecosystem and invest into the broader crypto economy. Biggest thing by far that really makes Maker stand out is that, we're the oldest, we're the original project, right? So we are, definitely one of the most trusted, most reliable projects in the space. And that's so important for us because what we offer ultimately is stability, right? So Maker and the DAI stablecoin are the kind of crypto projects you can actually trust and rely on. And that means that the whole, so many other projects in the ecosystem build on top of us. And that's just what we want to keep growing, right? We want to just keep growing the industry and the market. So like I said, Maker is the biggest project, one of the biggest projects in the space. We've seen tremendous growth, but we've grown so much, we've run into a kind of a scalability barrier. It's just gotten so big that it's starting to get hard to manage. So our solution is to split up the DAO. So you go from one big, giant, complex DAO into many smaller and more flexible and more innovative DAOs that then build on top of the core. And then the core can be really simple. So Spark Protocol and Spark DAO is one of the, it's sort of the one of the biggest of these sub-DAOs that is already being developed. The Spark Protocol is a lending system. So it's like an innovative, modern lending system that sort of builds on top of Maker's core economic engine and the DAI stablecoin collateral. And it allows users to access really high quality, really innovative crypto borrowing. And the reason why it's possible to make something that's this innovative and this new, despite being a massive, old DAO that Maker is because of the sub-DAO model. Because Spark DAO basically is a lot more flexible. So they were able to make these cutting-edge decisions. And we're not just doing that with Spark DAO, we're doing it with other sub-DAOs as well, focusing on things like real-world assets or onboarding more regular people into DeFi. And basically, what's so cool about the sub-DAO model is that Maker can focus on its core business, which is just being reliable and stable and trustworthy. And then the sub-DAOs can go out there in the market and experiment and innovate, like Spark DAO is doing with lending. So the key thing about sub-DAOs is that they all have their own tokens. And that's how we try, how we kind of basically inject fresh blood into the space, into the ecosystem, right? Because we distribute all these tokens to our users. So if you use the DAI stablecoin, you'll be able to farm whatever sub-DAO you prefer. So if you like DeFi and lending, you can farm Spark. If you like real-world assets, there's sub-DAOs you can farm for that. So you don't have to know everything. You can just focus on the thing that interests you. This farming will begin when the system launches, sometimes next year, when all the sub-DAOs launch. But Spark DAO uniquely has already started pre-farming. So you can actually start farming Spark DAO today with ETH, if you deposit ETH to the protocol, or if you borrow DAI from the protocol. In both cases, then you're going to start earning some credits that will turn into a future Spark DAO token airdrop. And so this way, we are forming these new, dynamic, specialized communities. And already there's a lot of Koreans that specifically are sort of clustering around Spark DAO as like the DAO that's gonna be really connected to Korea. Yeah, I mean, it's the centerpiece of Endgame. The point of a DAO is that it's autonomous. It runs itself, right? It doesn't need humans to constantly make decisions about new strategic directions, right? Because in the end, that's kind of like governments, right? Then they change their mind. Then, you can't really trust them as core infrastructure. And we were struggling with sort of finding a model that, be able to cover all future situations with Maker, right? So there were a lot of changes and it got very complex. And Endgame is the solution to that. It's saying, no, we're not going to change anymore. We're going to keep the core system really, really simple, really reliable, really trustworthy, and it's never going to change once it reaches its final state. And the reason why it doesn't need to change, that's the sub-DAOs, right? Because all the change can be done by the sub-DAOs without the core having to change. So it's kind of the best of both worlds, right? You get stability and certainty, almost like Bitcoin, right? But then you also get the innovation, the fast-moving aspects of crypto and DeFi that people think is so exciting with the sub-DAOs. So we're not planning to go to Solana instead of ETH. I don't know. So I mean, it actually looks so. Maker is currently basically incubating and growing 5 independent EVM-focused development companies, and we're only going to expand that further. So our commitment and focus on Ethereum is only going to grow, right? We are we're expanding to a lot of L2s, and the way we're able to do that is through the sub-DAOs, right? So actually, this primarily Spark is the sub-DAO that is really focused on like the Ethereum L2 ecosystem, because they have that flexibility to focus on a lot of different things. And with Polygon, which is one of the primary Ethereum L2s, we're actually doing partnership with them, or like an integration where all of a lot of the excess profits from the DAI savings rate funding basically development of Ethereum, like public Ethereum development that benefits the whole ecosystem. So, and this is all possible because of sub-DAOs, right? Spark is able to make these kind of integrations at sort of, with a kind of speed and innovation that Maker Core wouldn't be able to do. And so the reason why we are exploring building a new backend for the system is because this would allow us to make the sub-DAOs even more efficient, right? So the goal is to grow the whole ecosystem, right? Like, we're already growing and we want that growth to just continue and go faster and be better. So that involves, a lot of innovation and basically improving the system where we can. Because in the end, that's what's going to benefit everyone the most, and especially the Ethereum ecosystem, right? Because in the end, that's the biggest market, and it's like our focus as the market and where our users are. I mean, we're never gonna leave any blockchain. We're only expanding to more places, right? And really trying to cover the whole ecosystem, the whole industry. I mean, we're in the bear market now, right? We're in crypto winter. This is the moment where there's most opportunity of all, right? And so now is a time where research projects like Maker and sub-DAOs and Endgame and get in at the ground floor, right? So I'd really encourage people who want to, basically, be early, right? Be before everyone else. This is the time to join the communities, right? You can go to our forum, forum.makerdao.com. You can find the discords for the different sub-DAOs. Join the Spark Discord if you want to be involved in that. And then also get started here on BitHump with the coupon MKR-Endgame. Thanks for having me.